Mental health first aid represents the front line of defence in our battle against poor mental health in the workplace and beyond. Representing costs in excess of £56 billion a year to the UK economy and nearly 18 million working days lost. The benefits of having trained mental health first aiders in the workplace have become increasingly apparent to UK employers in recent years. Not least of all due to the lines between people's home and work life becoming blurred as a direct result of the pandemic, but also because, according to Deloitte, for every £1 invested in employee mental health and wellbeing initiatives, employers will receive £5.30 back in reduced absence, staff turnover and lost productivity. Mental health first aid gives individuals the skill set to spot the signs of poor mental health in themselves and others, alongside the confidence to have supportive conversations, assist with the crisis, and signpost professional help. Features, benefits, and return on investment aside, the initial outlay to train a cohort of mental health first aiders is not insignificant. With this in mind, if you are responsible for workplace wellbeing, want to create a more engaged workforce, and are considering an investment in mental health first aid training to achieve it, you might want the answer to a few of these questions before you start. For example, how many mental health first aiders does my organisation need? How do I roll out a selection process for employees to attend the course? And what supports do I need in place to ensure a return on investment? If any of these questions sound familiar, then stay tuned, because in this video, I'm going to provide answers to all three, alongside the clarity you need to make an informed decision before you invest in mental health first aid training. There is an inextricable link between mental health and physical well-being. Anecdotally, I could talk about the cathartic effects of exercise and the rush of endorphins that seem to wash away any low mood or negative thoughts I may have had before starting. Or clinically speaking, I could talk about the body's observable psychosomatic response to stress. In her latest book, Finding Inner Safety, Dr. Narina Ramlakhan talks about her experience studying safety in a lab. She observed a direct correlation between those individuals that had habituated to survival in a stressful environment and the retention of fat around the midsection of the torso. There's a link to the review of that book either here or here, but the real reason that I bring this up is because as it stands, there is no official guidance for the number of MHFAiders an organisation should have. The reason for this is multi-layered, including variables such as location, headcount, job sector, and demographic. And in the same way that we should be taking a person-centered approach to mental health, the individual nuances of each organisation should also be taken into account. Using physical first aid as an example, we can start to extrapolate and form a guide as to how this might work for mental health. Legally, UK employers need to have at least one physical first aider for every 100 employees. This is against the backdrop of a report from the Labour Force survey that estimates up to 565,000 employees sustained a non-fatal injury at work between 2021 and 2022. Contrast this with the 8.2 million working age adults that will experience a diagnosable mental health condition in any given year, and we start to paint a picture that infers you are 14.5 times more likely to come across somebody experiencing poor mental health in the workplace than a non-fatal injury. Further to this, if we think critically about the role of the MHFAider in the workplace, this is someone that, in addition to their normal job role, will be taking on the responsibility of having what can sometimes be difficult conversations about emotive subject matter on a daily basis. The same way that you cannot walk in the rain without getting wet, constantly taking on and exposing yourself to other people's trauma and emotional baggage is going to have an impact. With all of this in mind, you probably wouldn't want your newly trained cohort of MHFAiders to be engaged in helping more than 6 to 12 people at any one time. Above all, the selection process for employees to attend a mental health first aid course needs to be in context, transparent, and inclusive. Contextualised wellbeing initiatives talk to the right people at the right place at the right time. If you want engagement, it needs to be clear where the initiative has come from, how it will benefit the people you're calling to action, and how it aligns with the values of the business moving forward. Rolling out random, poorly planned, and seemingly knee-jerk initiatives is akin to the sensation a fish would feel when it's pulled from the water. The change came out of nowhere, disrupted their day-to-day routine, and on the face of it has no immediate benefit. Now, in the fish's case, that last part is definitely true. But from an employee perspective, setting the tone and getting the lay of the land by way of regular internal comms that are aligned with your external marketing channels, alongside employee surveys, are just a couple of ways that you can create a more contextual selection process with a higher engagement. Mental health first aid uses inclusive language and case studies alongside a concerted effort throughout the course to raise awareness of the factors that keep inequality in place. All of this with a view to making mental health a global priority for everyone. Employees being able to see themselves in a role that will affect change is integral to the way that your company will go about addressing stigma and making the conversation about mental health more accessible. For example, 1 in 7 people in the UK are neurodivergent, psychosis is up to 9 times more prevalent in the lowest 20% of household income, and 1 in 8 young people from the LGBT community have attempted suicide in the last year. Being aware of your organization's intersectional blend, how this impacts the individual experience of mental health, and factoring this into your selection process via transparency and representation is another way you are likely to boost engagement. Mental health first aid is delivered with support in mind, meaning that there is an acute focus on the role of the MHFAider in the workplace throughout the course, including self-care, professional boundaries, and reflective note-taking. Newly qualified MHFAiders will benefit from a 3-year support package that gives them access to course content at the touch of a button and an easy way to signpost those who need it towards appropriate professional help via the MHFA support app. That being said, for an organisation to realise the long-term benefits of mental health first aid training, this support package needs to be mirrored by internal efforts that ideally will be set up before training is rolled out. Employee resource groups offer a cost-effective way to centralise the conversation. By empowering individuals that are interested in the subject matter to play a proactive role in initiatives you can be assured are contextually relevant and resonate with the workforce. Bear in mind that in a hybrid workforce, the location of your employees, alongside representation across job function and seniority, will play a pivotal role in your employee resource group's ability to speak for your organisation and steer future conversations about well-being and inclusion. In addition to an improved understanding of diverse perspectives and a more cohesive company culture, employee resource groups give the opportunity for like-minded employees to network, which can increase retention and help identify future leaders. The key message here is that you listen to your people and stay cognizant of how the various statistics available for mental health apply to the specific needs of your workforce. For more information on the benefits of mental health first aid training and how it can help you make the conversation about mental health in the workplace more accessible, I can be reached via info@letsgowellbeing.com. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe for more news, views, hints and tips from the world of wellbeing, and feel free to click or tap the screen just here for more wellbeing and inclusion content.